Hey everybody, welcome to RefTime, powered by RTS and produced by Coraggio Media. I'm Tanya.
And I'm Crane. We'll be covering rules, plays, points of emphasis, and all things official. Hey folks, welcome to another segment of RefTime. We are in the studio with the great Ariel Edwards.
Welcome, Miss Ariel. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good.
Is that the way they make your announcement of your name when you used to play? Edwards.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It is.
Is it? What school did you go to?
New Haven.
Oh. And when did you graduate from New Haven?
2021.
Okay.
Oh, you're just a baby.
I'm not a baby.
Mom and Dad call you a baby. You don't like that, huh?
A lot of people call me a baby.
Well, you do
It's
look
okay.
very young.
It's just because you're so much younger than the rest of us.
It's a compliment to look young, though, don't you think?
Yeah.
Because when you females are young, you want to look old and mature. And when you get older and mature, then you want to look younger. So it's just you fall into the trap, Ariel. How does
It's
it
okay.
feel to be going into the trap? Well,
All right, so you played basketball.
Yes.
Did you play any other sports while you were at New Haven?
No.
Okay, and you're in college right now.
Yes.
At St. Francis.
Yes.
And are you in any sports there, or just doing your studies?
Just on my studies.
Okay. And what are you studying?
Sports management.
Very nice. Very nice.
and I was, we were talking about it on the way here, and I was telling her how we met. I think we met. Did we meet before Dr. Ron's class or at Dr. Ron's class?
At Dr. Ron's class.
Okay, that's when we came out to St. Francis and we spoke
to the class.
your class,
Yes.
and you guys were planning a 3-on-3 tournament on campus. We had a chance to come and ref that. We thought it went very well. How did you? You participated in that, right?
Yeah. Well, I helped. I couldn't play, but
Right,
I had
but
to run it.
He had it for you guys to run,
Yeah.
which I think was an excellent experience. So, how do you think that class went?
It actually went pretty well. Like, as a whole class together, everyone came together. The event was successful overall. We had some hiccups that happened last minute, which to me was the best thing, how we overcame those hiccups where we didn't make them issues. Like, people wouldn't know certain those things happened by the way it went off.
Right.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
we didn't notice. I didn't notice anything. What were the hiccups?
Teams pulling out last minute, the
Yeah.
very last minute.
Yeah. So that messed up the bracketing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
scheduling. So what we do is, I think our leader Gary, he just gave another team a bye, so we actually had 2 bye rounds. I think something like that, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. So when the teams pulled out and you say last minute, how much last minute was it? They pulled out the day before, 2 days before?
Somebody was, I think, 2 teams were the day before or 2 days before.
Okay.
Because I think they had some type of game or something that they didn't know was going to come up.
Okay.
And then also somebody the day of.
The day of, that would be a
Yes.
pain.
So what he did, I think we actually found 2 teams to replace those people.
Wow.
Or a team to replace those 2 people who pulled out the 2 days before. But the day of, when he sent us a text saying, hey, anyone know 2 teams before the event, I just turned back over and went to sleep. I said, it is what it is.
She said, I ain't even going to stress it.
I said, we'll figure it out later. I said, because no one's trying to find a replacement for those other 2 teams was hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to find someone the day of, I'm just like, everything's done. We have to worry about getting the event together. We'll figure it out closer to the event.
Good. So how did Dr. Ron respond to that? Pull up to the speaker so they can hear you. How did Dr. Ron respond to that?
He responded pretty well. He wasn't. I don't think he was shocked because he knows stuff. He's done a lot of events from what I've heard. So he's probably seen how these things happen last minute.
Yep.
His biggest thing for us was we have to keep the momentum going.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We got to figure out a way to overcome, keep it smooth, transition well. He was there to help us out, oversee things. So I think he responded pretty well. He was impressed by the way we handled things from his feedback he gave us.
He's a pretty good organizer. You guys got a good professor in him to be able to head you guys up on this. Did he tell you a little bit about his past and what he's done in because we had him on as a guest too. Has he shared with you guys some of the things he's done in sports management himself?
Yeah, he has, actually. He has.
The test question, what do you remember that he told you?
I remember he told me he does like some of the MMA events.
Okay.
Some of those that go on the Coliseum. Some he has made flyers before. So a lot of things that he has us do, he's done before. So
Yeah, did he tell you that he started the men's team over at Ivy Tech?
Yes, he did. I remember him talking about that.
Yeah, that
and we helped him out with that as well,
Right.
as far as finding officials
Right.
and officiating some of those games ourselves. So, yeah, we've got a little bit of a history with Dr. Ron. So
We've known him for a number of years.
yeah.
So what is your due date to graduate from USF, Ariel?
In about 2 years.
2 years.
About a year and a half, give or take.
And you say you're majoring in sports management?
Yes.
What are your plans at this point to do with a sports management degree from USF?
I want to work on more so the operation side of a sports team. So my ultimate career goal is to end up in the pro side of things, like I've shared with both of you before.
And you say operation side with a pro team. What kind of pro team? What sport?
NBA.
NBA.
Nice.
And do you have any connections so far in leading you towards that goal?
I made actually a few at the recent career fair we had at school that would honestly be beneficial to that partner with the NBA, who it would be beneficial to start, getting some experience through them that will hopefully lead me to there.
Okay.
I know one guy who actually does scouting and stuff for the Nets, actually, up in New York.
Okay. And you met him through a job fair?
No, I was up on vacation, and a family member introduced me to him.
Nice.
Wow.
So you, in other words, then you're talking about you want to leave Fort Wayne.
Yes, Indiana.
No, you want to leave the whole state,
The
not
whole
just
state.
Indiana.
It's too cold here for me.
Well, New York ain't much warmer.
It's not either. I'm trying to find somewhere. I mean, the NBA teams, it's 82 teams, so it's a number of places I could choose
There
from.
are a number of places.
Now, I just found out recently, and I'm going to test you. How many NBA teams are there? Total number of NBA teams.
Okay. Ooh, that's a trick question because they started having teams. It's 82, correct?
No. It's 80. I think they play 82 games a year or something
Oh,
like
not
that.
82. Wait. That's what I'm thinking of. 82 games. I want to say.
And I think that's just one team that plays 82 games. Total number of games that are played throughout the year obviously are more than 82. But I think one franchise plays 82. But how many different franchises are there? We just found out because we have a relative that's in the NBA, and he was telling me, and I was like, ooh. Because I think I remember there were less than that years ago when
I don't know. I was
playing. You didn't pay attention? You don't remember what he said?
Oh, I remember.
I want to say. I'm going to just go with the obvious, so maybe 65?
Nope.
30.
30.
That's what he said.
Why does it sound like it's so many more?
Yeah, I think that it seems that way.
I think just because they play so many games.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
That's where I was getting that number from.
Yeah.
It's not 82.
Yeah.
But we have to think there's 50 states,
Mhm.
and there's not an NBA team in every state.
Correct.
Some states have multiple.
And some states have multiple.
Like
California has 3,
Yeah.
right?
They have what? Lakers,
Clippers.
the Nets.
Clippers.
No, not the Nets. The Clippers.
Kings. And the Warriors, 4.
Golden
4.
State.
Yeah, so
So-
they have 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that the one state that has the most?
California, I think so.
I think California has the
Yeah, I
most
think
because
so.
there's Texas only has 2, Mavericks, Houston, New York, Nets, Knicks.
You know a lot more about the NBA than I do.
Yeah,
But then again, I don't really follow the NBA. You have to because that's what you're trying to be a part of.
which is good.
Yeah.
So what in the NBA, what part of operations are you looking at? Like, what's your field of expertise that you think you want to go into?
Brand work, marketing, research, and a capital.
You said brand work?
Yeah.
What is that about?
So, like, more so the focus on the brand of it, how to get, as Dr. Ron said, how do you get butts and seats?
Okay.
So, stuff like that, marketing, research, everything that entails making the team successful, all the behind-the-scenes business management stuff that has to happen for the team to actually remain a team.
And that I think to me that's great for young people because there's a lot of players out there. We've talked about that before. I think in you guys' class, everybody wants to dribble a basketball. Everybody wants to run the pigskin down the football field. They want to hit the hockey puck. But the people that are behind the teams are the ones that make it work. Because without those people, there would be, like you say, no butts in seats. And that experience you guys got running that 3-on-3, that was actually putting butts in seats, so to speak. You guys had to get players. Like you said, you lost 2 teams at the last minute. You had to get more butts in the seats, more players. Now, when we came in to officiate that, we were impressed. I mean, we talked to Dr. Ron about it after. We were like, man, this is a nice event. And that was you guys' first event ever of that magnitude. What number of teams did you guys have? You remember?
I want to say the goal was to get 20. And we ended up coming down, I think, to maybe 15, 16, something like that.
It was healthy.
Yeah.
How long did it last?
It lasted about the appropriate time. So we got done.
I think you got done a little early.
Just a little early.
Like about 20 minutes early, I think,
about
is what we
20
got
minutes
done.
early, yep.
And that might be because you had fewer teams.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so
So-
we had to, the championship team, or the championship game was a little earlier than it was on the actual schedule. So.
But all the teams were there, so it was fine.
Yeah.
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 So what time did you guys start? Do you remember?
We
I think we started at 7.
Did you start on time?
Yes.
Was it 7?
fairly, yeah.
And then we got done about what?
9.
9. So a
Yeah.
2-hour event.
Yeah.
And the momentum, what I remember is the momentum just kept going. Like, it was team after team.
Yes.
It was it wasn't no one standing around.
Right.
Those are all the things we talked about up to planning the event. We got to keep things going. We don't want anyone standing around, or we have to just keep it nonstop going. And that's how it was. It was, the fun, the energy was intense.
You know what I like most about that tournament was those gigantic necklaces.
Yes.
She was sitting at the table, and one of the guys put one on, and then I think you ended up putting one on, and then somebody said to me, he goes, "They're wearing them." I said, "Yeah, man, you want to." He goes, "I really do." So he put one on.
Because he came over there, he came over there bothering us, but he was over there dangling in front of our face. Like, well, I do want to try this on.
That thing was heavy though, wasn't
Yeah.
it? These things were what? They were about, the medallions were maybe that big, and a big chain too. So you put.
Yep.
I was like, that is something to play for. These young folks wanted that.
Yes.
So you guys had a chance to do that. What other plans do you have in the class that is on the horizon that you think is going to help you move in towards your goal?
So right now we have, I'm in a different class. That was
Okay. That was just that semester.
That was sports management.
Okay.
Now I'm in sports marketing this semester with Dr. Ron.
Oh, he does that too.
Yeah. He
How
does
many
a lot of
different classes does he do in? Because his
plenty.
Yeah, because his title is, he's a professor, but he's sports
and
manager.
advisor.
Oh.
So he's head of the sports manager program. So he's my advisor right now. I actually have to meet with him for my advising session in a few days.
Okay. Okay.
But that's something that's coming up also. But some things that we're doing in the classroom right now, we were in groups. We're doing some work with the YMCA.
Okay.
And we're in groups, we're putting on an event for children of any age. We picked our age group and everything of what we were going to do. So basically it's targeting, because I think the week of everything that we're doing this, children are out of school for spring break and for my community.
When is that? When is that coming up?
The 3rd of April that week.
Okay.
2nd, 3rd. So it's different days for different groups. It's between 2 different days. But between the first week of April, for sure. And basically we're just trying to give these kids a place to come have fun, ease some tension off of parents, keep the kids busy, things that parents will want to do. So each group was to plan an event of what children will want to do, what the age group was, plan it out from start to finish. Simple, around the same simple plan that we kind of had to do for that event we put on. But it's just a little different. We have a different target audience going to a place. So we actually had to make the flyer. We had to, go in within their rules. And also the biggest thing is finding a way to market the event, making sure people show up.
Yep.
Butts in seats.
Yes.
Yep.
So you guys are actually planning a babysitting day or babysitting week kind of
No,
sort.
see, it's not going to be kids that young. That's not what it's going to be. They're going to.
I know.
So our goal was so we wanted to make it something that kids want to come to. So I conducted some research, and what we decided was we would do a field day basketball. So basically, since we were going to be inside, because you know how April looks here in Fort Wayne. You never know what you're going to get into
Right.
that day.
Never know.
So we couldn't do anything outside. So we said, okay, indoor fun things. I said, basketball's probably, around that time, March Madness is going to be on. A lot of kids that age, they're starting to get into their respective sports, and that's what we were talking about in class. So I said, okay, let's do basketball then. So it could be more so they're doing some fundamental drills that they're getting out of this, and then they get to scrimmage for the last 20 minutes or so like that, that organized. Whereas they get to have they're not just running around and losing interest, but also these drills that they could teach and take with them and become better individuals and better players to where they're going to. And about that age is where you start learning and getting excited about your sport, wanting to master different things. So the fundamentals at that age is what they're learning and what you carry for the rest as you're in that sport.
What's the average age you're going to be working with grade-wise?
4th and 5th graders.
4th and 5th graders.
Yes.
Okay. So
And then which
elementary.
Y are you guys holding this at?
The Y, I don't St. Joe. All the way out
So
by
Jackson
Cro-
Lehman?
Jackson
Yes.
Lehman. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So I want to ask you actually something. I want you to kind of go back to high school.
Okay.
We'll talk a little bit about what we actually focus on, which is officiating. So you played basketball back in high school.
I did.
And what were some of the things that you liked or didn't like about officiating, about some of the officials?
So I'll keep it straight 100. A lot of the times when we went to schools like East Noble, a lot of times we went to schools such as East Noble, Heritage, where our team was mostly an African-American basketball team, I feel we were cheated out of a lot of foul calls or unfairly treatment just because of, the fans, the situation, just because of the color of our skin. And about officiating, I feel like officials let a lot slide, especially up in East Noble. Some positive things about the enforcing, or when we played Fort Wayne Community Schools, though, it was nice. The officials were a lot nicer to us. It wasn't like they had a horse in the race. They were pretty fair on both sides, I will also say.
That's interesting. Do you feel, do you think most of your teammates felt the same way?
Yes.
And you guys were mostly a black team, black Americans.
Yes, I have a perfect example. Up in East Noble, this was my first year actually up there. We had how you alternate every other year, home game away. So we went up there, I had a teammate, and they were playing very rough the whole game. One of them I think they pushed one of them. And the girl, she pushed her back and she fell, and they kicked my teammate out of the game. And that's what I'm saying.
So you're saying an East Noble girl pushed your teammate, and then
Yes.
your teammate pushed her back.
Yes.
So she retaliated.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I'm not taking sides,
Because
but
we weren't there.
I wasn't there. But one thing I always try to tell players is it's kind of like, do you have siblings at home?
Yes.
Okay. So if you have a younger sibling and that younger sibling comes up and pushes you and you push them back, but mom only sees what
The
you
second.
did, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
see the retaliation.
They see the retaliation. So unfortunately what happens a lot of times is we don't see, and I'm speaking of for me, we don't always see the first
Right.
push or the first punch or what we may not see that where we see the retaliation. So we can't penalize something we don't see, even though your player's saying, well, she pushed me first, or it's one of those things. I can't penalize something I didn't see. I can only penalize
What
what
you
I
did
actually
see.
saw. So not stand, I'm not taking sides or anything, but my guess is that's probably what happened. Is they only saw the retaliation, they didn't see the initial push.
And I to add to that, and then to respond to what you're saying, I kind of agree with that, and I think the reason is because, and you probably can relate to this, when a player gets pushed and they already feel like they're being cheated, they already
Yes.
feel like
Yeah.
these referees are being racially biased, then the retaliation is going to be greater than the initial push.
Yeah.
And so the first girl may have pushed her a little bit, and maybe she pushed her. Maybe she does that all the time. I don't know. It could be that kind of
Yes.
player. And then she pushed her, and then you guys already feeling the frustration of feeling cheated. So then she really pushed her back. That's going to be easier to see too. And then you can see the severity of it. You can see, oh man, she tried to hurt her. Well, that's what we call a flagrant foul, and that's automatic ejection.
Yeah.
So from a referee standpoint, she's right. We don't really look for. Most of us don't look. I mean, and I don't know. I wasn't there, but I can tell you when I go to county schools as a black official going into predominantly white county schools, most of the time when I walk in, the players like seeing me coming. I told her before when I was much younger and in much better shape coming out of college playing basketball, I'd walk in. I remember walking into one county school, and the boys were sitting on the floor stretching out, and we're walking across the floor to the table. And there's, you know, how they sit at center court and stretch. And I kid you not, it was the wildest thing I saw. About 3 of them, they were stretching it. They looked at me walk. They go, all right, cool. Number one, they probably hadn't seen a black official in a long time, and they hadn't seen one who you could tell I had played college ball, still in college shape.
Right.
And then I probably walked like kind of a basketball player because I still had that gait to me back then. So, you know, usually when I go into the county schools, I'm received well because I'm tall. I played basketball, still look like I got it. So that's, you know, and I don't know about the girls. Again, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened.
Right.
But
I had a game this year at New Haven, as a matter of fact, and the team that they were playing was a county school, and it was early. I think it was early in the first second quarter, and I had the county school girl did something to the New Haven girl, and so I'd called the foul. Well, then the New Haven girl, out of frustration, you know, pushes her, and I'm like, why? Like I was calling a technical on the other girl because of what she had done, and then the New Haven girl retaliates, and I'm like, what? Why? Like
I already blew a whistle.
I already
I'm already
blew my
penalize.
whistle.
Why you had to do that? Yeah.
So I was already going to penalize the one team, and now I've got to penalize both teams because you know, and I'm like, And so, you know, that's one of the things we always try to tell players, like, give us a second, give us a chance to you know, to respond.
Yeah.
You know, we have to, you know, you have to understand that we have to process things as well. You know, you have to give us some everybody wants to scream, oh my God, it's a travel, or oh my, yeah, okay, give me a second to process, because I'm looking.
Got a lot going on.
I've got a lot going on. I got 10 bodies I got to worry about on the court.
And now I got to worry about the coaches over there acting a fool.
I got to worry about the coaches, the
Stepping
bench.
off
Got to worry
like
about
the
the
box.
fans.
Yeah. I got to worry about the clock.
There's
I got to
a lot.
worry about the, you know, the
Then I got a
score.
score table over there, and they don't like the team that came in, or they got issues because her daughter's on the It's just, and you're going to see that soon coming into the officiating world. You're going to come over to the dark side, right? Movie heads like this.
Yes.
Because that's what we've been talking to you about, is getting into officiating. And when you go tonight and watch us officiate, I mean, tonight's going to be really easy.
It'll be laid back.
It's intramurals. But I think a lot of people, once they come over to the dark side, as we like to funnily call it, they really do see that the sport is a completely different way to look at it.
Yeah.
You know, as a player, and then she coached, that perspective is one, and we've both been fans. But when you come over to the side where you have to start officiating,
administering
the game and governing it, it is complete, because I don't care who wins. Like, I've heard people say, you're cheating, and I just look at them and laugh, because we laugh. We're like, I don't even know what school I'm in. I don't even know who you're playing.
And one of the things we've talked about before is, you know, as officials, we walk in, especially doing AAU ball. You walk into AAU and you've got a black team, an all-black team against an all-white team.
I hate those.
You already know
it's going
to be racial.
It's going to be racial.
Yep.
And people are going to look at him like he's being biased against the black team. I'm being biased for the white team.
And they don't know we're married, which is weird.
No clue.
They have no clue that we're a couple.
They have no clue that I could care less.
And they think we're trying to cheat against each other for the team. We're looking at them like, we're going home together. Y'all tripping.
I mean, I was doing a game out at Spiece when we had basketball out there. Long live Spiece. We miss it. Rest in peace.
Pour something out for Spiece. Yeah. Take a little sip.
So
what is it now?
It's a pickleball.
Pickleball.
And a lot of people in the basketball world are crying the blues. They're like, man, I can't believe that, man. I miss this. I'm going, that's called progress. That was a crazy idea.
It's called change.
No, that was not a crazy idea.
Actually, pickleball, I never heard of it until, side notes, Dr. Ron Lewis class, we were talking about it. Mm-hmm. And actually, we have a project coming up about doing some research into pickleball and everything, and rebranding it, a team, a tournament. So it's going to be very interesting. And the research I'm conducting is I'm finding that it's beginning to be very popular.
It's the fastest growing sport in the country.
It is right now, especially in I looked up the most popular states for pickleball when I was deciding on where the tournament would be. And I found that the larger states, it showed me the map of the U.S. Florida, Cali, some states on the East Coast, those sunshine states, especially Texas,
Mm-hmm.
they hold a lot of those courts.
Nice.
So a thing is, I feel like in Indiana, a lot of people are kind of closed off to it because if you think about it, we're not one of the most popular states with it. So it'll be exciting to see how Indiana grows.
It's definitely grown quickly in Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
So
Very quick.
I mean, the fact that Spies turned
Yes.
themselves in, I mean, they took all the basketball courts out and everything.
Took them out completely. They
And
renovated the whole place.
The whole place, and now it's just
Yeah,
completely
All
pickleball.
Yeah, he stood on
Yeah.
business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and people think that was a dumb idea. I was like, that was brilliant.
It was.
That's brilliant because he's got whoever it is that owns it, got the #1 pickleball spot in the city now, in the
Yeah.
area. I thought that was, from a business perspective, I thought that was brilliant.
Because what he looked at was what's currently going on, economy-wise,
Yes, ma'am.
national headline-wise,
Yep.
and he adapted into it with this business.
Exactly.
And he probably is making more money than he was making
Absolutely.
with Spies.
Oh, yeah.
Because Spies was not the place like how it used to be back
Right.
in the day.
You're
It really
right.
wasn't. People are going over to Sports One now.
Yep.
It
Yep.
wasn't the place. So when people try to
Right.
complain, I'm like, stop it. Y'all know y'all wasn't even going over there anyway.
Right. Yeah, we'd go over to Spies when the
In its
tournament was
heyday.
when the tournament was too big to be all at Sport One. They'd rent out Spies
Yes.
again. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good memories at Spies.
Yeah.
Our daughter played there. Our son played there.
You coached there.
I coached there.
I coached there one game.
One game. Yeah,
And then
we
a fellow
retired.
referee yelled at me.
We retired him quickly.
Yeah, because I was assistant coach, and he yelled at me and said, "Sit down and shut up." And I looked at him like, "Did he just tell me this?" Then I realized I'm not a ref right now, so I had to sit down and shut up.
And he wasn't the head coach. But yeah, I mean, just reffing out there, I mean, I did a game out there one night or one day, and I had a parent, I guess, went up to one of the speech directors after the game and was telling him that I was being biased. I was being racially biased against their team because it was a black team against
I
a
thought
white
that was
team.
hilarious.
And he just looked at her like, you have no idea who she is and who she's married to. And it was just the funniest thing because he was like, what could I tell her? Like, she had no idea. He was just like, yeah, I'll have a talk with her.
But that's one thing, and we train, like, we have a basketball class going on now.
Yep.
And one of the things we tell new officials is that basketball is probably one of the most emotional sports there is. And it's one of the fastest sports.
Very.
And as an official, you have to know the rules, number one. You have to know when and how to apply them. You have to also apply common sense, personal judgment. And you have to do all that inside of a millisecond to make a decision, because one girl on New Haven's team just pushed another girl from another team. What was that team?
East Noble.
East Noble. And now I got to know, okay, what caused that?
Yep. And there's no instant replay. There's no monitor, so we can't
monitor.
go to
Can't
see.
use that in high school. It's illegal. So I got to make all these split-second decisions in a half a millisecond, and I still got this side of the crowd and this side of the crowd yelling, this coach yelling, this coach yelling. Everybody's emotional, but nobody knows the rules.
Right.
Right.
So but we love it. I mean,
Yes.
we love it because we've been engrossed in it for so long, and you're about to get engrossed in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Touch a brother. Bam.
It's definitely going to be interesting to look at it from a referee's perspective
Yeah.
than a player's perspective.
It
Because I
is.
used to get a little upset with the referees down. I was a post player, so I used to get beaten
Oh,
up down. So I
she's
used to be getting
post
down.
player,
So I used to
yeah.
be getting down there. Most
Getting
of the
pushed
girls,
from the back.
So most of the girls were like bigger than me. I was more so little because they're taller than me.
Mhm.
So
they
on-
outweigh you.
Yeah. So I'm on the kind of short end of it as to where I couldn't play guard because I'm bigger than most of the guards.
Mm-hmm.
So I was
So how
more
many
so-
elbows did you catch in the face? That's what I want to know.
I caught a whole concussion before.
I was joking. You serious?
I had a.
From an elbow?
No, this one wasn't an elbow. I was going on a fast break and she pushed me from behind.
Did she get called for the foul?
Yeah. It was a,
Were you able to shoot your free throws?
I wasn't. I had blacked out. Somebody else had to shoot
Oh,
him.
wow. So it was
Wow.
was it a flagrant foul? She got tossed from the game?
I don't know if she got tossed, but I know we got to shoot. Well, I forgot. What is it called
Technical?
again?
Intentional
Yeah, technical.
or technical.
Okay.
When they shoot from, and it's all just
Nobody's
the player
on the
up there.
line.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
That's
it
a technical
depends.
foul.
Technical or intentional foul. Either one would be nobody else on the line.
Right.
So I think it was more so intentional because, like they said, she pushed me from behind and everybody
While
could
you
see-
were
yeah.
dribbling.
and
So
going,
that
and
would
I
have
was
been
going
intentional.
so fast.
So
Yeah.
did you make the layup?
I didn't get there.
Oh man, you didn't even make the
All
layup.
that-
You
I
didn't
know,
do it
all
and
that
one.
I know all that for
You
nothing.
know
Corinne.
what? You
I
cut.
fell
We
before
cutting you
then.
from the team. You didn't make the layup. I am
I fell
hurt.
before then. I fell before then.
So did they end up taking you to the hospital?
Yeah, actually, that's how I ended up finding out I had a concussion. I had the worst headache of my life. I had to sit out for sectionals that year. I was so upset.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
How long were you out? How long did they say the concussion took to heal?
About 2 weeks because I had to do the concussion protocol for about a week. And
have you done any research on what a concussion is?
Yeah, back then when I had it, that's when I was a Google doctor that week. So I was looking stuff up, but I actually what did they tell me? I had a severe concussion, so my symptoms, I had to wait a week before I could even do any concussion protocol stuff. And then that's when I was able to return to school and start the protocol, but I didn't make it back in time for sectionals.
Yeah, I found out that an actual concussion is when your brain gets moved. Your brain inside your head gets moved. That's why the headache is there.
Yeah, and it was huge, bad headache.
Yeah. Our daughters had concussion or two.
I probably have, but back in the day, they just told us concussion, go get some cold water,
Suck
and
it
get
up.
back out there. Yeah.
I wanted to go back after, I think, 3 or 4 days, but they wouldn't let me.
Well, they discovered it's dangerous now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we didn't know. But
and I had this huge knot on my eye.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it looks like it's still there, actually.
No, it's
Well, thanks a lot for joining us, Ariel. We're blessed to have had you come on the show.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun. Learn a little bit about you. I like your goals, and it's gonna be interesting. You learned me something. California, Texas, and Florida, Sunshine States, is where pickleball is most popular. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Cool.
a few more other states.
That makes sense, though. It's kind
East Coast thing too.
Yeah, because there's a lot of outdoor courts from what I understand.
Yeah.
And we have a good friend. He's pickleball crazy. I mean, he's 74, 75 years old. He loves the sport. I mean, he will die on a pickleball court and be happy with that.
Yes.
I'm serious.
Maybe you can put me in contact with him and help me out with this project I got coming up.
He would love it.
He would love
we
it.
can. His name is Doug. We'll put you in contact with him.
He actually works out at the Jackson.
Yeah, he's an instructor out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll put you in touch with Doug.
Yeah.
What's his last name? I get it. I get it. Doug Pickleball.
Wiley.
Yep. And Doug has a show that he does down here too called the Uncle Ducky Show, and he's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pickleball.
He's quite the character.
Yeah. You'll enjoy Doug. He'll enjoy
All
you. So thanks again. Appreciate you coming on the show. And we're gonna go ahead and close out now, and just remind everybody that we do have the RefTrainingschool.com still going on. So if you are interested in becoming a referee, and we hope that you are, because we need more people to come over to the dark side as Miss Ariel is coming, we need you to contact us through RefTrainingschool.com, start getting some information, and learn how you can work with kids and get out there and participate in the sports world, not necessarily as a player, but as a participant.
And
in terms
make a little extra money.
Yeah, you can do that too, and get paid to work out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to talk a little bit about the tournament we have coming on. Tanya, tell us about that.
So our tournament's coming up July 12th. It will be held at Turnstone once again. We have been blessed with that facility and the connections that we have there. But you can register your team right now, 3rd through 12th grade boys and or girls teams. And that website is Hoosier3on3.com.
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 RefTrainingschool.com.
RefTrainingschool.com.
See how we're kind of a twin setup? You see that? You see, we kind of look alike too.
Not even close.
Okay, anyway. Why you rolling your eyes at me? See, you wait till I train you. It's going to be delicious.
Your
it's
head
gonna be
your
fun.
head is too shiny.
My head's too shiny.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, with that, we're going to sign off because they're starting to make fun of me. I'm getting ganged up on by the females. So I just want to say thanks again for everybody joining us at RefTime. We really love having all you guys support. And Miss Ariel, thanks again for joining us. We'll probably do this again in the future. And good
After
luck.
we get you trained?
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. And good luck with everything you're doing at USF. Sounds like you're doing some exciting things.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good luck.
All right.
All right.
With that, we'll sign off. See you next time on RefTime.
Deuces.
Thanks again for listening to RefTime, powered by RefTrainingschool.com and Hoosier3on3.com. Produced by Coraggio Media, RefTime is recorded in WELT Studios in beautiful downtown Fort Wayne, Indiana.
To join RTS, visit RefTrainingschool.com. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Until next time.